And then you were also very influenced by this kind of fantasy thing.
In junior high school, I started making cartoon drawings of battles and airplane battles, and I was that kid in the back of the class that wasn't paying attention, and I was drawing and, making all these stupid noises, and I got in trouble and all that. And so art has always been kind of a trouble for me.
That all sort of came together in those paintings.
Yeah, definitely. There was a fantastical element, and it was an escape space. Not hiding from an angry father per se, but kind of going back into playing in the city as a kid and playing red flag. Where you go after the other person's flag behind buildings.
But there was also a sense of danger in that.
Definitely.
And that also came out in those paintings.
I think so.
So, and they were sort of big, bad, aggressive paintings.
Yeah, and very stark contrasts.
Yeah.
They were light and dark all the way through, and just this, a place where anything can happen, and usually something bad, and you have to fight the monsters there, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's all city experience for sure, because there was actually an edge to the city then, as you know, and it was not the safest place, and it was interesting to go into these areas. You could always go back home and be safe, but when you went into those areas, you went on the subway, you were going off into the, to fight the war.
But being home, being safe, means like in your block, in your neighborhood.
Yeah, your specific
I mean,
block.
this
yeah.
was not like going to some nice little house somewhere
No.
in the suburbs.
No.
This was like really, really a nitty gritty thing.
Yeah, but you knew the pizza guy, and then you knew the.
Okay,
Right.
that was kind of a wise guy neighborhood.
Yeah, basically. Although mostly Jewish
But when I first met you, you were kind of a wise guy too.
Probably, yeah, and the accent's coming back now as I speak. But yeah, definitely a New York thing going on, or Brooklyn anyway.
But then this changed. Then you got this Fulbright, and you went to Poland.
Poland, yeah. Well. And my proposal was to do a study of the influence of architecture and identity. I think it did a lot for my painting. It's not even just source material and more experience in the world, but the colors. It affected my colors. Everything's much more, even when it's bright, it's somber. It's hard now to think about it because it was so foreign, and it was, I'd been to Europe, and Central Europe, and Berlin was probably the most interesting place. So you want to go somewhere more interesting than that, you have to keep going east. I had done some architectural history reading, because I'm not Polish, so it wasn't like going back to the fatherland or motherland. I think I just developed at that time this really sincere interest in like architectural environments. I started maybe thinking about these city experiences in terms of, practical, like buildings and alleyways and subways. And, you wonder, I knew how much of an effect it had on me, and it's tough to pigeonhole like one thing and who you are and why you are that way. But, I started thinking in terms of, at least for the Fulbright proposal in Poland, was this, that most of the architecture there was built by somebody else. How could somebody like me grow up in a city where it's all foreign architecture, and it's, and how does it become your own? And so I guess that whole architectural environment and identity, just the way a place changes over time and the way you identify with it and the way it forms your own identity and that sort of thing. And it's unavoidable, especially growing up in New York. It's stamped